If you could change any choices you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of Inspired Choices radio show, Holographist coach, Christine McIver.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so happy that you are here tonight with me. Another inspiring show, I hope, here on my show, Inspired Choices. And what we are talking about today is another fabulous show called Embracing the Chaos of Creation. So last week, I've had a number of weeks, right, over the last couple of months, when I'm really leaning into business. I love talking about business. I've been doing business for so many years, and it's the thing that in my world that is both fun and playful, and it's all about creation to me. So I would love for you to check out a lot of the shows that I've done over the last few weeks, talking about business and about creation and about, a lot of the things that stop us. What stops you in your business? What do you find is most difficult for you? It might be that working with someone that finds it easy would be a compliment to you, would be a contribution to you. We're not all supposed to get every single solitary thing in the world, right? Lots of us are great at some things and not so much at others. But one of the things that I love to do is work with individuals who are in business, who love to do what they do. Maybe they're in pottery, maybe they're a singer, maybe they're, maybe they make baby clothes, whatever it is that they do. They love to do their thing, but doing the business aspect of it is not fun. And in fact, so many people that I have connected with and speak with and invite into looking at a different possibility have said that I just hate this part of it. And, it doesn't have to be difficult. Excuse me, my nose is itchy. Maybe I'm right. I got it on the nose. What do you think? But the thing is that business does not have to be difficult and arduous and doesn't have to be something to dread. It actually can be so much fun, and it can be so much pleasure. And that's what I absolutely love about business. So, if you're going to buy food from someone, you want to buy food from someone that loves to bake their food. Doesn't it taste different? Don't you have a different experience when you're eating some food from someone who loves what they're doing? Well, it's so important that you apply that same philosophy to every service provider, every company that you're working with, every organization you're connected with, because you will have an experience that lights you up even more and contributes to you more, because those people are enjoying what they're doing. They're not doing it because they just want your money, right? They're doing it because they love it, and it's a part of creating economy in their world. And that's what I love to do. And that's what I love to teach other business owners, is how they can have pleasure, they can have fun, they can have ease with creating within and on their business. So I just want to tell you a couple of the shows that I've done over the last little while. Last week I did a show called Not Using Competition as a Driving Force. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Oh, people just love me. Dinging me all the time here. Not using competition as a driving force. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what that would actually be like in your world if you didn't have to? Well, you can check out my show at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com, and you can listen to that show and so many other shows where you will be able to tap into more of what I am sharing. So there was that show, and then we had Business by Default or Desire. Oh my gosh, so many of us are doing business from that aspect, right? We're doing it from the space of default, like this is what I need to be doing. And no, again, I'm going to constantly pull you back to desire. So if this is something that is really speaking to you, and if this is something that you know you would like to have a different experience with what you love to do, I'd love to connect with you. I give every single person a complimentary 30-minute session where we just chat and we see if there's a connection, how we can work well together, to see if you would enjoy working with me, if I would enjoy working with you, and what it is that you would like to target and accomplish. And I will give you a fabulous idea of what that would look like as we move forward. So you can message me. You can connect with me at Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. You can find my website, inspiredchoices.ca. Or, of course, if you're listening here at the Inspired Choices Network, you can always come here, inspiredchoicesnetwork.com, and you can find me under the host tab. So let's get into tonight's show, embracing the chaos of creation. How many of you go, oh my God, chaos, I can't handle it? Well, guess what? Chaos is actually creation's best friend. Write that one down. Chaos is creation's best friend. I'm having a lot of fun tonight. I don't know about you. I'm actually doing, if you're listening live, I am also doing a video where you can come and you can play with me as we create the video. So you can watch me and listen to me in real time, or you can watch it and listen to it on demand, whatever works for you. Choice. It's all about choice, my friends. So come on over to inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. Join us in the chat room. We have a great producer in there who will assist you to be able to come and play with us in the Zoom. We have a Zoom studio where we create all of the creations, audio and video. How cool is that? And that's going to be a conversation for tonight about chaos. So embracing the chaos of creation. To imagine embracing chaos, especially with creation, seems ludicrous for success. What if, though, the act of embracing the chaos propels you into the flow of your deepest creations? Imagine if you actually drop the walls of resistance. You let go of the fear. You just threw off everything, and you just threw caution to the wind of everything your brain is trying to control, and you allowed the chaos to propel you forward. Are you willing to dance with chaos just to see what really this dance can bring for you and your business? I absolutely love that. When that started to come through me and that started to actualize on paper as I was writing this up, it actually brought tingles to me, because I know that there is so many of us that operate from, oh my God, I gotta feel calm. I have to feel in control. I need to ensure that everything, all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted and everything is lined up perfectly. I can't possibly lean into chaos or imagine that chaos could actually be my best friend in creation. No, most of us, and me for most of my life, I was like that as well. And just for tonight, my friends, I would like to invite you into playing with a new possibility. Just let go of all the ways that you've done things in the past. And even if after this show is complete, after I'm all done, all right, you're done listening, you can go back to that other way, the original way that you've done it, and no loss, right? But just for tonight, would you be willing to play with, maybe Christine's onto something? Maybe what she's saying could contribute. Maybe not 100%, maybe 50%, maybe 10%. Would you just do that? I'd love to invite you into that for tonight. And that's the great space to start, because if we are not willing, if we are unwilling to invite in a new way of being and doing, we actually will leave the new way of receiving out of reach. I want you to really get that. if you are unwilling to really dance with and play with a new way of being and doing, you will leave the new way of receiving out of reach. Do you ever feel like you're onto something, and you've got these creative ideas and you feel like you're making strides, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's too much change. Oh, that's too much of the way that we have to do things. No, I can't do that. And you backpedal and you backpedal. And then you don't feel like you're actually going to be able to receive or reach for that possibility that in your heart you desire so, so much. In order to try to get to create something new, you have to be willing to do something a new way. And that's, to me, that's one of the biggest challenges for a business owner, is to do something in a different way. I don't know how many times that I've spoken to people. I've been in human resources. I was in human resources directly for 20 plus years. And, I talk to lots of people about, when I'm coaching with them, about challenges they're having with their bosses, with their colleagues or whatever. And so many times, especially when people are new in jobs, is they will complain that the current organization or their direct bosses or their direct colleagues are unwilling to try something new. And when they are unwilling to try something new, right, things aren't going to change. And yet these people will tell me, I was hired to help them get there. And now that I'm here, they won't allow me to do what I know will actually get them there. And what if that's the experience that's happening within your business? What if you're unwilling to allow your business to go there in a different way? And yet you're asking your business to go there in a different way. And because you're not allowing your business, you can't receive, you can't reach for and actually grab onto the prosperity, the playground, the enjoyment of the way your business is willing to contribute and create and contribute to you. You, my friend, as a business owner, and I mean business owner as in whether you're a proprietor of a business, or you do consider yourself, which I speak to quite oftentimes, you do consider yourself in your own business, even as an employee for someone else. You, my friend, you have the gift to create your business in a new way. And it requires chaos. Sometimes the chaos is out here around you, or sometimes the chaos is in here, inside of you, or in your heart, in your desires. But in order for you to really shift, chaos must be embraced. Chaos must be invited in. You got to open the door to chaos to allow the creation to unfold. And that is so, so important. Embrace chaos. Say, come on in, chaos. I've been asking for change, and I know that you're here. You are actually here to help me to bring that creation to greater and greater heights than I've ever had before. Chaos is your friend. And chaos is saying, you know what? I'm not your enemy. I'm not trying to make you cry. I'm not trying to make you angry. I'm not trying to make you feel like you're going insane. But if you would just let go of the way that you're doing things, I can help you dance and make it so much fun. We're going to go to our break in just a moment. But before we do, this is a very kind of standard analogy to how important chaos is. If you and I could actually see what occurs in the body and the two bodies coming together to create a baby, if we could see all of the chaos that's going on within the man's body, within the woman's body, if we could see what is happening with the womb, with the sperm, with the eggs, with everything that's happening, all of the chaos that needs to go on in order to create something amazing, if we could see that, I don't think we would ever populate. I really don't. I think that most people, it would blow their mind how much chaos is that contributor. Keisha's liking my little analogies. Be afraid, be very afraid. Right. So what if you didn't have to know the details? What if you didn't have to understand all of the steps? What if you were willing to ask your business? I want you to ponder this while we go to break. What if you were willing to ask your business to show you what to focus on next as the chaos is going on? What if you were asking your business to show you what to focus, and you allowed and you trusted and you believed in your business, knowing it doesn't really matter? None of it really matters. It could all blow up. You can start again tomorrow. But what if you were willing to allow your business to show you, you focus on this, take this next step, and then take this next step, and then take this next step. Allow your business to baby step you forward through the chaos, through the forest of chaos in your mind and everything going on around you, and just trust it. What if that allowance would bring you to the ease, to the land of glory, to the prosperity in your body, to the prosperity in your business, to the prosperity in your bank account? Would you be willing? Would you be willing to possibly consider doing that? I want you to think about that while we go to break. You are listening to Christine McIver. That's me on the Inspired Choices radio show here on the Inspired Choices Network. When we get back, we're going to keep leaning into chaos. What the hell is this chaos thing? And how can I possibly be with that with ease? Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices radio show with holographist coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices radio show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with holographist coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Hey, everybody. Oh, welcome forward to the next segment of tonight's show. Tonight, we are talking about embracing the chaos of creation. So before we went to break, I was really inviting you into a different possibility of just considering a different possibility. And I'm just curious, what's popping for you? What's popping for you when you're listening to this? What is really coming to the forefront? So if you've got a lot of objections, a lot of resistance coming forward, that's awesome. I want you to write that down. I want you to really acknowledge that, because that's actually giving you a window into what's happening for your brain. Okay. So let me talk a little bit about who we are and our brains. Your brain, our brains are operating mechanisms that when we come into body as a young baby, our brains don't have a lot in there. Like it's a pretty clean slate, like a painter's, I can't think of the word, a plain wall. Okay. So it's very, very clear. Now, as you are a baby and as you start to hear and listen and observe and learn and pick up things, use canvas. Thank you, Keisha. And as you, as a baby, um, you start to understand, and your receptors, your brain receptors starts to pick up information. They start to lay down tracks in your brain, right? And these tracks are something that we keep going back to again and again and again. So as we get into a program, right, those tracks become our go-to. They become our knee-jerk reaction. So what happens with your brain is your brain says, "Uh-oh, don't touch that stove. Remember the last time you touched that? The last time you touched that stove, you burnt your hand and you were crying in a lot of pain. So don't go there. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that." But somebody may be saying to you, that stovetop is not hot. I need you to remove that burner so we can clean under it. But you may have a track in your head so loud that it freaks you out with the idea of even touching it. Not even having yet touched it may start to freak you out. Okay? Simple analogy, right? Take that exact same analogy of your brain has information about a past experience where you were hurt physically, emotionally, it hurt you financially. There was some negative experience, right? Your brain is going to protect you. Your brain is a protector, and its job is to stop you so that you don't get hurt again. And so when someone starts to show you something, someone starts to lead you down a path or invite you into something, right? Your brain may go, "Wait a minute, hold the bus." That is going to create that negative experience again. And so your brain operates on programs. It's kind of like good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. This is what your brain is doing. It's giving you information, and then as you think about doing something, it's giving you a yes, no in your brain. Okay? It's all those yes, no's, good, bad, whatever the case may be, is based upon your past experiences. That's all the brain can do. The brain is not looking forward. The brain is not the creative. Okay. Many people believe it is not. Okay. The brain is always looking to the past experiences. Okay. And it's feeding you information in the present. All right. Now, when you get a creative idea, where that's coming from your knowing, that's coming from your being, that's coming from your awareness, that's coming from that intuitive side of who you are. That's not in the brain. Your intuition is not in your brain. Your intuitiveness is in your gut. Okay. That's where our intuition sits, coupled with our third eye, our awareness, our psychic ability. Those all come together with ideas. Okay. And when those ideas start to really want to come into fruition, that's when the brain steps in and goes, "Okay, I'm here. I'm here to help." Okay. But the intuition and the creativeness and all of that is really the first dancing of the chaos. That's where chaos starts to come in, because it's something new. A creation is something new. All right. And so that chaos starts to swirl this in, to have you start to embrace it, to have you start to open up the doors of receiving for this new idea. Now, before I go any further, I want to read the definition. The original definition of chaos is a gaping void, an empty, immeasurable space, an empty space. Oh my gosh. So you want something new to come in. You want to be in an empty space, just like the artist's canvas, right? You want to start bringing that in. And it's an abyss, that which gapes wide open, that which is vast and empty, right? Now, this is where, when something new is starting to come in, and it's coming and it's new, right? So the brain has not danced with it yet. All right. And it's new and it's coming in differently and it wants to show up different. It wants to be different, to contribute different. And all of these things start to dance all around, right? That's when the brain is going, hold on a second. I can't compute this. I don't understand this. Give me a minute. I need to line this up. All right. Now, I'm telling you, my friends, that I am absolutely a systems person. My team can tell you that. My clients can tell you that. And absolutely, first and foremost, I was always a systems person. They used to tease me that at work that I was a checkbox girl, that I would check it off. Okay, that's done. Okay, that's done. And that's done. Right. I cross the T's. I dot the I's. Everything needs to be lined up. Yeah. Come into my bathroom and you'll see my towels are lined up perfectly. It's always the same way. That is very much a part of who I am and the way that I do operate. Okay. But as I've been evolving, as we always are, and as I've been desiring more, I've been willing to drop those and let them lie when they're not needed in the midst of the chaos of creation, knowing that things need to swirl and things need to show up differently. And you know what? A couple of the things that really have contributed to me is, first of all, trusting me. Trusting me, knowing that no matter what, if things get so far out of hand that they don't contribute, and it might, each creation will, I'll give it a different length of time. Some might be, 6 months, some might be 3 weeks, some might be, 5 years, whatever the case may be. But as the creations are unfolding, right? If I am willing to trust me, I know that I can always make another choice and I can begin to choose in a new direction, right? Lots of us operate from the fear that we're going to lose something. We're going to lose something. We're going to lose something. Well, when you are operating from the fear that you're going to lose something, you're holding on very, very tightly to it. And when you're doing that, you're contracting, you're making everything dense. It has an impact on your body. It also has an impact on your business because you're not open to receiving more. Your hands are not open to receive more. Your mind is not open to the possibility of something else contributing. So the first thing I know is I trust me. I trust me. I'm always going to have my back. I'm always going to be there for me, no matter what. And I made it to this age. I can certainly make it to tomorrow. No problem. That's number one. Number two, I trust my business. My business is an entity of itself. My business has my back. My business has always had my back. I've been in business now for, I guess I'm going into year 13. And I love my business, and my business has evolved. My business has grown. My business has changed and morphed. And where my business is today, I would have never imagined the day that I opened my business that this is where I would be. And I love my business, and I love the evolution. And I'm in the space of expectation that everything changes. Are you willing to be in the space of expectation that everything changes? Nothing stays exactly the same. It doesn't. And how boring would that be, that everything stayed exactly the same? So while you can have a foundation of consistency and sameness, you've got to be willing to allow what's above that to be in chaos and continuous creation, right? I often think of a business like a tree. It's got a very strong foundation. It's deep, it's strong. You can trust it. You know it's going to be there, right? And then as it grows and it evolves, the branches start to come out and they are moving and bending, twisting and turning. And the flowers or the leaves, they're coming forth. And right now in Canada, that's where I live, it is October and the leaves are changing. They're changing quite a bit right now. And so while they're going to change, I also know that as those leaves are falling, the change is going to continue. And my eyes may not be able to see it, but I do know that in the spring, they're going to start to sprout, and the beautiful colors are going to start to come out again and again and again. And this is what I'm talking about, is everything is in continuous change. Are you willing to be in continuous change and open up to the chaos of how chaos can actually be a vast open space of possibilities? If you are willing to do that, and if you're willing to trust you and to trust your business and have your businesses back, like for real, have your businesses back. You could be kicking and screaming through this process. Maybe you need to cry. Maybe you need to, do all sorts of things to move this change, because we get so comfortable in our sameness. But if you would begin to trust your business in the way that you trust your best friend, you trust your lover, you trust the people around you, if you would trust your business, magic can come forth. It really can. And just like me, you may find yourself in the most amazing, magical creations that your brain could never have shown you. Never, because it was never there before. If you don't lean into chaos, you will not lean into new possibilities of creation with your business. My friends, this is right there. It's so close. You can practically touch it. And the only thing that's stopping it is your resistance. Your resistance. Your mind is a great pal, but don't believe it when it says you're unsafe. You're unsafe. You're not unsafe, because you are conscious. You're present here right now. You're present with your business, and each and every day be present with your business and allow your brain to take a vacation. It's okay, brain. You can go over here. That's what I actually do, is I'm like, it's okay. Don't worry. You just relax. You take a little vacation and let the creation go. Let the chaos happen. Okay. And when I do that, it's amazing how much space I end up in. I'm actually in that space, that vast open space of chaos. It's so good. It's so fun. And I want everybody to come play with me there. Okay, we are up to our second break of the show, and I definitely want you to just receive what I have invited you into in this segment. We're going to take this break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into more. We'll take your questions. We can take your calls. It's so much fun. Come on over to inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. Join us in the chat room, and we can play together there. So you are listening to Christine McIver on Inspired Choices Radio, TV, and podcast, and on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices Radio Show with holographist coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you ready to have pleasure with your business? Yes, I said pleasure with your business. The Pleasure of Business a la carte will surprise you with topics like meet yourself in the boardroom, money, services, and you. Expand your visibility. The pleasure of communication. The pleasure of Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Christine McIver has so much pleasure with business and loves teaching all things business. Beginning a new business? Desiring to expand a current business? Or looking to resurrect a business that has been dormant? This program will get you fired up and bring more pleasure than you have ever imagined. Exhausted with your excuses for not creating a phenomenal business? Join now for all the pleasure with business. Pleasure of Business a la carte gives you total choice for what you desire and what your business requires. That's 24 weeks of different topics to choose from with weekly calls, audio and video recordings, and PDFs. This class will have you dive right in and use tools to create the business that has been speaking to you. Go to inspiredchoices.ca for full details or join the Facebook page Pleasure o Business a la carte. Now is the time for you and your business.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with holographist coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, my friends. Yes, we are embracing chaos tonight. We're talking to you about your brain. We're talking to you about trust. We're talking to you about possibilities. And possibilities is really the space where any business owner or any employee, someone that really owns their career, right? You're the owner of your career. You're the owner of your business. And anyone that desires to have more, to evolve, to create even greater, you've got to be willing to lean into the chaos. Okay. Let's talk about chaos. Let's talk about what's happening within you when there's a creation that's desiring to come through and all of the things start coming at you and you go into overload. Okay. I'm using the word overload very specifically because most of us will say to somebody will say, how are you? Oh, I'm so overloaded. I'm so overwhelmed. I just don't know which direction I'm just overwhelmed. No, you're not overwhelmed. Your brain is on overload, okay? Because your brain, if it was receiving an inch, it's now receiving 10 feet because it's new things, right? And your brain is like this little mouse that's running around trying to put everything into its proper categories, all right? Your brain is on overload. So when you can acknowledge, hey, this is what I've asked for, that's one thing that just starts to ease this tension within you. Number two, you acknowledge, oh, my brain, that's a machine that I'm the operator of, my brain is on overload. Cool. Okay, great. I know this. Then the next thing is to actually say to yourself, okay, so what's required right now? Show me, business, show me what's required right now. I'm going to tell you guys, I am in the midst of creating so much all of the time, a lot of the time. And I love it. It's what we call Euro stress. It's fun. It's excitement, right? If you have been at home during the COVID transformation, you may have gotten very bored. And I don't know about you, but boredom lasts for me about one day. I can't take much more than one day. Even when I'm on vacation, I'm not someone that can, if I'm going to a hot space where there's a beach or whatever, I'm not laying on the beach for very long periods of time. I will go to the beach. I will enjoy the water. I will enjoy some rest at the beach, but then I am adventuring, right? So I'm adventuring around. So what if you were willing to adventure around with your business? Okay. It's really, really important that you understand and that you get that adventuring with your business, all right, can be so much fun. But when your brain is trying to keep everything straight, it can really go into overwhelm, as I said. So when I have got a lot of different things going on, and there's, right now, I have two great big screens, display screens that I operate from. I have many different windows open. People often laugh like, oh my God, Christine, how many windows can you have open at the same time? I have a lot of different things. I have a great recording equipment. I have TV lights. I have different, pieces on my desk of papers of things that I need to be working on. I have my phone popping. I have a lot of things going on. Now, I didn't go from focusing on one thing to having this many things that I can dance with. Okay. You do not go from 0 to 100. But what you've got to be willing to do in order for you to get from 0 to more is you've got to be willing to understand that you have the capacity. You have the capacity to receive and have more things creating and have chaos going on. You have this capacity to do this. You have this capacity to be with this to the point where it's not making you crazy. One of the biggest gifts is a very simple tool that I use a lot. A lot. It's like I've got all of these things jumping all around me. And what do I need to focus on? Well, sometimes the things that I am new at, like for instance, the platform that you are listening to, Inspired Choices Network, which is my creation. All right. I founded Inspired Choices Network. We went live January 1st, 2017. And this creation has continued to evolve over the 4 years of its inception. And it's so much fun. And one of the biggest evolutions of the Inspired Choices Network has occurred just in the last month. Or I guess in the last few months, but we started TV. We're now on TV and we're now doing video recording as simultaneously as we're doing our audio recording. We are also recording in a different recording studio. We are recording in Zoom. And as we're recording in Zoom, we're also doing live broadcasting. Now, I'm not going to go into all these details, but my producers and I could probably come up with maybe 50 different things we've had to learn and understand and kind of learn to dance with in a new way and a different way. And there are moments when we feel overwhelmed, but there's also amazing celebration in how much we have learned and grown and how much we have now. It's becoming second nature. There's a whole bunch of things that are becoming second nature to us. And that is so exciting. But in the midst of the chaos, things changing, new awarenesses, things having to kind of blow up, as it were. And in the midst of all of that, we've had to be willing to allow things to maybe drop, maybe things not to be perfect as we are learning this new way of being. And so the tool that I have been using in all of this big change over the last month is Show Me. It's a simple and powerful tool. First of all, you want to be willing to expand out into the realm of chaos. You've got to be willing. The second thing is you've got to trust, right? And then the third thing is to ask, show me. Ask your business, show me. Show me my next step. Show me the next step to focus on. Show me. And as you start to practice that show me muscle, your awareness, your intuition will grab your attention on things. Now, remember that intuition is a whisper. Intuition is a whisper, and it may whisper auditorially. It may whisper with you a vision. You may see something on a computer. You may see something in your day-to-day, and it will just be a little pop, a little pop. But as you keep working that muscle of inviting in chaos, dancing with chaos, opening up to receiving greater, willing to trust yourself, trust your business, and then using the tool of show me, those whispers are going to pop more for you. They're going to pop more. And as you keep increasing your dance with the show me, it's going to be easier and easier and easier. And that's when it becomes play. Are you ever doing something where it really feels like, I'm talking right now, a lot of us are doing our business online. And just from this aspect, I'm going to explain this piece. But have you ever felt like your fingers are dancing across the keyboard, or your fingers are dancing through social media, or your eyes are dancing with everything that's going on and you're having fun with it? Well, that's the invitation of what is possible when you're willing to embrace the chaos and allow your brain to take a little vacation and be open to the changes, knowing you can always trust you and you can always trust your business. My friends, we're going to take our last break. What I want you to think about and I want to invite you into is, if this is something that you would love to have, but you're really feeling like you can't get there, would you be willing to reach out to me? Send me an email, Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Say, I want to learn how to embrace chaos. You and I will have a half-hour call. We'll talk about what you're looking for. We'll talk about what's possible. And then we'll talk about how we can move you into that with total ease. You can always say yes and you can always say no. The choice is always yours. But the thing is if you are not willing to actually do something different, you can't have something different. Okay, stay tuned. We'll be back really quick. Inspired Choices here on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices radio show with holographist coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices radio show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with holographist coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Oh my gosh, my friends, do these shows go quickly? I love it. I love it. It keeps me on my toes. And again, this is the energy of chaos in creation, even doing a live show. And all of the hosts on the platform will tell you it keeps them on their toes. And if you're an expert and you would love to maybe, just maybe, create and have your voice and your videos across the world on the internet, contact me. We'll have a conversation. I'll show you what's really, really possible. So here's the last aspect that I really want to poke you with, really want to stir you with. In order for you to create more, in order for you to open up to receiving more and having your business expand, having your career expand, okay, you not only have to be willing to step into the chaos, but you need to jump into it. You need to lean into it. You need to turn up the desire for more, the desire for more of what will get you to your desires. And what I mean by that is, if you are comfortable, if you're going along in your business, you're going along in your career, and things are really consistent, and sometimes you find you're bored, I'm going to challenge you that you are not willing to have more receiving. Because in order for you to have receiving, you've got to always be leaning in. You've got to have some level of uncomfortable coming in. You're not going to be creating new if you're not growing, right? There's no comfort in the growth zone, all right? Because you're growing, it gets uncomfortable. And there's no turning up your receiving unless you're growing. Okay. So the chaos propels you, it propels you forward. The more you don't have to get to the crazy land of chaos. You don't have to have like things screaming and yelling at you. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about them challenging you, right? If you were to turn up the chaos and turn up your receiving 10%, 20%, and you were uncomfortable. There's moments when you're uncomfortable. That is a very big sign that you are growing. Now, are you writing out your list of your desires? Are you writing out where you want to go? And you've got dreams that you're continually leaning into. That's fantastic. And as you do that, and you're willing to allow the chaos to come, that's where the chaos is going to keep propelling you forward. You're not going to be moving forward into your deepest creations, in the most amazing things that are waiting right there for you, if you don't open up to that chaos. All right. I cannot emphasize this enough. You've got to be willing. You've got to be willing to get uncomfortable. You've got to be willing to do this. Oh my gosh, when I first started this, my very first radio show, I cried, and you've probably heard this 100 times if you're a fan. I cried for the first 15 minutes. And now I am not only on the one channel that I was on originally, now I'm on over 200 platforms in audio and in video. I am on TV screens. I am on some of the most well-known podcast platforms in the world. I am on social media constantly. I could never have imagined that, and it would have freaked me out 13 years ago when I began. But now I know what I want, and I'm willing to allow my business to know what I want too. This is the funny thing. When you trust your business and you're willing to dance with your business is going to be behind you going, go there, go, go, go. It's going to actually be nudging you forward. And sometimes you can be like, okay, enough, stop. But my friends, there's no fun if you're not growing, if you're not being challenged. Come play with your business. Come play with your creations. Allow the chaos to be your best friend, right? Allow the chaos to be the creation's best friend, and imagine where we can go. Imagine the places and spaces that we will dance in when you open up to chaos being creation's best friend, right? Your business trusts you. Do you trust your business? Do you trust you? Do you trust that the universe has your back? Do you trust that you came here at this time and space to be in the world, to create beyond your greatest imaginations? Are you willing to lean into that more tomorrow than you were today? Even if you lean in 1% more tomorrow than you did today, and you do 1% more the next day, 1 year from now, you will have made a lean in 100%. And all I'm saying to you is, if you would be willing to do that, oh my gosh, even a 25% lean into the chaos and the change will create 25% more in your life, in your joy, in your play, and absolutely in your bank account. Oh my gosh, can you imagine what your world would be like if you gave yourself a 25% raise? It's unimaginable, a 25% raise. And Dancing with Chaos can actually create that. Thank you, my friends, so much. Be sure to join in next week. We're going to have another show that we're going to be playing with, and we're going to be enjoying even greater. So remember, you can always make another choice. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next week for How Do I Know
Thank
I'm
you
a
for
Leader?
choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Radio Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.